I want to talk about something called a reported speech. I think I've talked about this on my Facebook page before. I think, but not even I think. I have talked about this, not even I think. I've talked about this on my Facebook page before. So I briefly I typed that to make an explanation. Hmm. Now, now what I want to talk about here is what we call reported speech. Now, there's what we call reported speech. Reported speech. Hmm. Of course, we know what a reported speech is. A reported speech is. A reported speech is something that somebody told you to tell somebody. That is what I mean by reported speech. That might not be whatever, but that is what I mean by reported speech. Because what I'm trying to explain here is not as if it is reported speech that it is being called. Do you understand? It is something in the language of geomancy that then I find a better English word for it. Do you understand? But that is what I mean by reported speech. Reported speech, like somebody asks you to tell somebody about somebody. Uh, or maybe you should know what I mean by reported speech without stressing that too much. So that's what I want to talk about as well. Sometimes situation like that usually happen in geomancy as well. That geomancy will be telling you that you should give the message in form of reported speech. The reason why I'm making this video is that I explained something briefly about this on my Facebook page. But I'm thinking some people might not have a good understanding of what I explained there. But now I want to use this video to express it with some example that will give a better understanding. I'm not saying whatever I say in this one too is not yet a maybe later so, maybe, but at least this one should be sufficient enough to help you understand the basic things about the reported speech. Now, like I was saying earlier, reported speech simply means that somebody has said something, then you want to see what somebody has said, or somebody asks you to tell somebody about something. Let's say you go to a place and you meet your friend, and the friend you meet now knows one of your friend. Now that friend now tell you that help me give so person this message. That is what I mean by what reported speech. In geomancy too, geomancy apart from the question Querent comes to ask you, apart from the question Querent comes to ask you, the sound, the geomancy itself want to say something. That even though this is not the message, this is not the thing, though, there is somebody somewhere that eyes, your visible sense cannot see, that is also want to tell this particular Querent something that there is no way the person can tell the person. Do you understand? That is what we mean by reported speech. This sound also, apart from the geomancer passing message to the world, the Querent, apart from the everything that has been written here, it is the conversation between you and the Querent. Querent asks a question and the geomancer want to interpret. That means that it is between geomancer and between the Querent and the between the geomancer and the Querent. But there are some people that might not be easily seen that also want to tell Querent something that other than the geomancer. Yes, so the reported speech now comes in when there are somebody in the atmosphere or in whatever in a particular sphere that the geomancer cannot physically see, neither can the Querent can physically see. Yet they want to give message to the this particular Querent. So there is now a way of knowing that this sound that I've casted, is there a reported speech on this sound on this divination chart that I've casted? So every time that you be looking for the word, if it is there, you will know. If there's a message that somebody else apart from the geomancer, there is a time that somebody want to speak with the Querent, and the person is present in that place, but neither the geomancer nor the Querent can physically see them. Do you understand? Neither of them. But the sound will tell you that there are present of people here that also want to give the message to you. So tell the Querent. You understand? That is what we mean by reported speech. Then before we start talking about reported speech, the primary purpose of this stage, first of all, to know how to know that this sound contains a reported speech. That is why I said that this is just a brief explanation. I just want to show you how to know that a sound or the divination chart you casted as a reported speech. That is the primary purpose here. You understand? Not how to now explain, but I will explain one just to give an example. As I said, that this is just a brief explanation. At least the first step is to know how to know that a chart has, because you don't cast a chart in order to say, I want to know reported speech. Maybe somebody are here, I want to know. It's only if they are here, the sound will tell you. You don't need to ask. Because Querent will ask what he or she is interested to know, and you answer it. Now, if there are other people that wants to tell Querent something as well, the sound will tell. It's not as if you cast a child, oh, I want to know if there are people here. Oh, no, that one doesn't. The sound automatically will tell you if they are here. So that is how do we know that the chat you have casted contains a reported speech. Now, this chat before, let me first of all say that this chat is not a real chat. I casted this chat for the purpose of this discussion. I did not do it. I did not check if the chat has miss or not or anything. I just cast it for this discussion purpose. And I was the one that put those figures here, not that I casted the chat something. I do it for the purpose of this discussion, not for any something. I was the one that put everything here. Do you understand? But now, how do you know if the chat before you, the chat you have casted contains a reported speech? Now, one of the way, there are many ways to know. One of the way is this: anytime, any day you cast a chat and these three figures follows each other, just know that there is a reported speech on that chat. Then how do you then give the information? That one is when you how do you know? What are these three figures? Number one is when there's Nasira to Karaj. Let me use a universal language that you understand. When there is what is the name of this? What is Nasira to Karaj? When there is Fortuna minor, okay, this is when there is Fortuna minor and there's Ashikafu and there is Ijitimoi. let me repeat. When there's Fortuna minor and there's Casa and there's what is Ijitimoi in Latino? Conjuncture. When those three figures follow each other consecutively, that is, like now, look at this example now. This is the figure, Nosra to Karaj. This is Ashikafu. This is Ijitimoyi. They follow each other without. That is, it's saying that there's a reported speech on this chat. Do you understand? There's a reported speech on this chat. You then look for but now what is what I mean. Not that you find Nasira to Karaj here, you now find Ashikafu maybe here, or you find it here. Not that when you find the scatter on the table. No, when they follow each other consecutively, like now this one follow here, this one we follow each other. They follow. It might not necessarily be in this house, 2 house, 3 house, 4. No, it could be in this place. Maybe they follow. The most important that they follow each other. It could be in the court. It could be in the anywhere. It could be from house 13, 14. Sorry, it could be house 4. It could be in house 14, 15, 16. It could be from house 13, 14, 15. It could be from house 9, 10, 11. It could be from house 12. Anyway, just that they follow each other consecutively. They follow back to back. They follow themselves back to back. Like this one, look at this now. They follow themselves back to back. Then they follow. That is when it's saying that there's a reported speech on this chat you have casted. There's a message other than that somebody somewhere is want the Querent to know, because somebody somewhere has done something hidden. That's somebody somewhere has done something hidden. Somebody somewhere has done something hidden. That is what I'm already telling you part of the message. Somebody somewhere has done something hidden. You understand? And somebody somewhere wants Querent to know. That's what we mean by a reported speech. And that this chat. So it now depends if this geomancer before you know how to find the reported speech, how to interpret the reported speech, blah 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 like that. But at least something fishy is there. That is, in fact, just knowing this alone, without even knowing what is that reported speech, blah 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 like that, is automatically. In fact, this is part of the message you're already getting to know that something fishy is already there. I'll give you an example to illustrate this better. But that is not the reported. You're just telling the reported speech. The geometer will then find it or look for the reported speech, something that needs to be reported. Look for it already. We just look for it. But at least finding these things, apart from the message that the first meaning is that finding them consecutively. One of it means that there's a reported speech. First of all, means that there's a reported speech on the sound, on the divination you have casted. Also saying that something is hidden. Somebody has done something hidden. Do you understand? That is number 2 meaning. So, and so on and so forth. Let me now go straight to other point. So it also means that these things also means that there is a planned work going on. that Querent should be careful of planned work. Querent should be careful of a planned work. Querent should be what? Should be careful. That's another meaning of it. That is another meaning of it. So another thing this also means that however, when you see this three figure, let me now emphasize something again. It is not only when you find this three figure that it means that there's what a hypothesis. There are other indicators. But I just give you something at least to first of all you to have at least to have an idea. And this idea I've given is sufficient for you to just that there is more to it than it is, but at least everything is well explained to this extent that it's usable. It's usable. This I've said, if you see it, if just the only thing I said now is what you can tell your Querent, you are fine. But I'm just saying that it is more than that. And this is, it's not only when somebody see this three figure, there are other things you see. I just bring one out of them. I hope you have gotten. Now it's also say that I think I've said this. It's also say that there is a planned work. There's a what? There is a planned work. Oh, sorry, there's a planned work. It's also said that Querent should be careful of a planned work. Now, let me now form an example. Let me give an example for you to understand this more better. Especially this planned work aspect of it. Let's say Querent comes to ask about is. Let me cite an example. There are some people that comes to bring a problem to you. Just know that problem that the Querent has brought to you is a planned work. Is a planned work. That real problem if somebody is sick, maybe sickness. Because some people can make you sick and they have the solution in their hand. Some people can make you sick and they have the solution in their hand. You understand? But so I'm just saying that when you see that, you know that this thing is a planned work. It's a what? It's a planned work. That's why in my own language, some people when they saying like this, they will know that they will call it what it well, what it can what. There's that is my own line. They say what it can what. When they see in the individual something, they know that something is fishy around there. So but this one is not computer like I said. This one is not something serious. It now means that the geometry that want to intercept that thing must be ready to because you must be able to do some things because these people that they show you that there's something and you want to, that means you too must be ready to so you want to attend to cases like that, a problem like that, you have to know that you want to enter serious something because you have to do something more powerful for that person. You have to charge the person high because you have to do something more powerful because that people that do the plan work, they may want to retaliate or do something terrible or something. You have to stay prepared. That is why some simple something that it can be solved. Sometimes you see people charge you more high because they know that this thing is a plan work. This thing is not really. It is not the problem you are having. It's not a real problem. Some people that do something and their solution is their own hand. Do you understand? But it means that you too. So don't let me. I hope you have gotten the point. But to me, the most important thing that so that for you yourself, if you are a geomancer or something, you can know that there's a plan. Well, this is just for a problem. Sometimes it's not spiritual. Something might just be maybe you are into politics or something. You are into politics or something. And something just confuse you like this is what I do now. Be careful of a plan work. So I hope you have gotten the point to a good extent. Now, having understanding, now use your understanding with little I've said. You can make it to understand this much better. But regardless, there's more to this than this. I just give you something that, because this is a public geomancy, something that can easily be explained in a way that everybody can understand it. And this is a public geomancy, something that can be explained in a way that. So I hope you have gotten the point. Thank you very much. May your life never be useless as you like, comment, or share my video. And subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can always get notification whenever I make a new post. But I pray to you that may your life never be useless as you like or comment or share my video. Thank you very much for spending your time from the beginning to the end. Thank you. May God reward you better.